Good morning, guys. I just wanted to make a pretty short video about why you need to annotate your first aid book. I'm talking about first aid for USMLE step 1, and I'm talking about annotating from your UWorld questions or your Kaplan questions, really any question bank questions, just the explanation that they include after the questions that are not included in your first aid book. So here's an example. To avoid reading through all the fluff of the question, let's just see fruity odor. So I know it's definitely diabetic ketoacidosis. If I want to double check, type 1 diabetes for sure. So the person is insulin deficient. They have increased production of glucogenic precursors, and I want to find out which enzyme is providing these precursor substrates, right? So the answer is glycerol kinase. And the explanation is because of the breakdown of triglycerides. And then there's this explanation here saying patient with diabetic ketoacidosis is experiencing increased triglyceride breakdown in adipose tissue because of her insulin deficiency. So now we go to the first aid book. This is my personal book. This is the 2017 edition, page 337, talking about diabetic ketoacidosis. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but if you do read through it, you can see that there's absolutely no talk about the breakdown of triglycerides at all. Oh, did I just do that? This is a perfect example of why you would need to annotate your first aid book. What I would do, because I'm not sure how much notes I'm going to need to add to this page, so what I do is I annotate a lot of my notes on post-it notes. So I was just starting to annotate and I stopped to record this video. So it just has increased triglycerides. And then I'm going to add all the information that I see in the explanation on UWorld onto this post-it and then put the post-it in my book. Now, not only do I have the information that first aid provided me about diabetic ketoacidosis, but I have the information that was provided to me from the explanation of that question. Additionally, I wanted to mention that 19% of people got this correct, and it's probably because it's not explained in first aid, or I can't speak for other review books, but first aid is the most popular book used when studying for board exams, and it's not mentioned in there. My answer for this question was acyl. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, CoA synthetase, because that's what's used in fatty acid oxidation. That's what I remembered from my notes for diabetic ketoacidosis. So you have an increase in free fatty acids, leads to oxidation. What I didn't recall is that it only leads into making ketone bodies. The question asked for increased production of glucogenic precursors, so that's why I got it wrong. I want you guys to remember that first aid for USMLE step 1, step 2, whatever it is, it's like a study guide, you know? It doesn't have everything. Additionally, UWorld doesn't have everything that your board exam is going to test on. These things are study products to help guide you to succeeding on the exam. I got a question on Facebook, check the link in the description below, and someone asked me if they do all UWorld questions and they get everything correct, will they get a 260 on the exam? That's not really how it works, and I can't guarantee that. Like, I don't know for sure, but I don't think that's how it works. And just like if you read every single page in first aid and if you memorize everything, you'll get a 260 on the exam. That's not how it works because it doesn't have everything. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Really short video. I'm not going to go through the entire process of annotating because everybody does it differently. I use post-it notes just so the book itself is not overly crowded with my handwriting. If I write too big, then I don't have enough space to continue the notes, etc., etc. If the page doesn't have enough space for me to write all my notes, then I'm like scribbling tiny stuff in the tiny corner and I'm not going to be able to read it later. I just think post-it notes are really helpful for that situation. As I said, really quick video. Remember to leave all your comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.